Hi, this is Lady Lex UK, and this is part of the How to Make a Platformer tutorial series. In this video, we're going to be looking at media molecule assets. Before we start, I'm going to turn on X-ray so we'll be able to see the microchips when we put these things down. Right, let's have a look and see what we've got. This is the Quick Start collection for media molecules. This is where they put their kits. And if we open it up, you can see they've divided up their kits separately. Now they are available in the Dreamweaverse as kits in their own right, but in the Quick Start collection they're separated up into sculptures, characters, contraptions and effects, and then within each collection they're separated into their different styles. Now the styles of these kits are specific to whatever it is that they built the kit for. Now these kits are Dreamweaverse Dash, Ancient Temple, Ancient Times, Welcome Home and Welcome Garden, and also Inside the Box, which is the VR set. Now the style of the props within these kits will depend on what it was made for. So Dreamweaverse Dash, these objects here, they have a certain amount of realism, but they've also got a very specific look, this pastel pink. It's all very, very pink. The media molecule pink, I guess. And they've got these designs on. If I put the floor in, you can see it's got these like geometric designs on. So they're very, very distinctive. And here's a word of warning for when you're making your own platforming games. If you use a lot of media molecule assets, if you do it too much and it ends up looking like an imp quest, the chances are people aren't going to be interested in playing and liking your game. That is because there are about 30 or 40 imp quests launched up every day into the Dreamweaverse, and generally people just put up the template as is without doing very much to it at all in order to get their imp quest, in order to get their special imp, and therefore people tend to avoid them. You don't get likes and plays on imp quest levels, so don't spend a lot of time on those thinking, you know, this is going to be the next best thing. I made a really big effort to make a really good Dreamweaverse Dash level. Nobody's going to play it. That's just a warning for you there. These props can be altered. They can be, you can change the colours of them. You can take them apart. So if I scope in here, you can see this is made up into 3 different bits. You've got that design there, you've got the frame, and you've got the block. So you can very easily change the design of these props for use. I mean, that doesn't look like the Reverse Dash prop at all now. It's unique now. So you can alter them. You can alter the colours of them. You can go in like this, and I can make that one red like that. Now completely different. It's not the same prop. So you can alter them. So don't think that it's just drag and drop, but it does require you to have some knowledge of scoping in, changing the palette, taking things apart, etc. Okay, let's just get rid of that. Right, let's have a look at the rest of the kit. So these are the sculpture objects. So we'll go into Ancient Times. These are sort of semi-realistic, I think it would be fair to say. There's some nice foliage there. We've got stone pieces, stairways, lots of rocks, and all this Eastern, Chinese, Japanese style stuff, you know, bamboo and lanterns and things. And this is designed for the Ancient Times challenge, quest, whatever you want to call it, was to make a scene. So this doesn't come with any contraptions. This is all just props that you can make your scenery with. But it matches really well with the Ancient Temple, which is a 3D platformer challenge, a 3D platformer in quest. And this one does come with some contraptions, not very many, but we've got lots of stone here for making your temples. A little bit of foliage, but not very much. But like I said, this is a good match-up with this kit. So these two work very well together. Again, we've got Welcome Home. This is part of, as you might see in the background there, you might be familiar with that. That's the Welcome Home imp quest. And this is realistic, but sort of doll's house looking, sort of Toy Town type stuff. And there's some furniture in here, kitchen equipment, that sort of thing. This is the home kit, and this is the garden kit, which came out a bit later, with the same style. So you can use both those kits together and they'll look fine together. But you can mix and match all of the things to make your level, and you've also got the whole of the Dreamiverse to use to make any platforming stuff. But you can see here, this is like, you can see very clearly it's a doll's house type style of thing. These are very plasticky trees. And our last kit is inside the box, which is more realism. There's some lovely textures in here, very modern tiles. There's some bricks up there. We've got these patterned blocks, concrete and things like that. It is part of the VR set, but don't worry about that. You can use this in something that's not VR. These are not VR specific things inside the sculpture list. So you can use these even if you're not making a VR dream. Right, so these are the kits. We've got some characters, not very many, but there are lots of characters in the Dreamiverse, some of which are based on these character models. People have adapted them, so don't think you just have to use these. And also, of course, you've got the mannequins that you can put in. A lot of people use the basic mannequins to make their characters for platformers. We've got special effects, things like activations and explosions. There's a portal design there, confetti, all these things that are used within the contraption gadgets. There's music. Music's a really big part of making your dream come alive, so don't forget the music. And there's plenty of clips that in here that are original, copyright free, and you're perfectly okay to use them or make your own, obviously. Please don't be tempted to put in the Mario soundtrack or Donkey Kong or Final Fantasy or anything of the things that people have put into the Dreamiverse. They've put it in there against the terms and conditions and code of conduct of Dreams. They are not supposed to do that. They can be removed at any time. It just requires the copyright holder to make a complaint, and they will be gone. And any game that has got that music in, they will be subject to being removed as well. So I would suggest very highly, do not put copyright music in your game. Even if you're making a Sonic game or a Mario game and you really, really want that music in there, don't be tempted. Don't be tempted. Having said that, if you've made a Sonic game, if there was a clamp down and they removed all the Sonic stuff, then your game would go anyway. So try and make something original. It's better for you. Right, sound effects. There's lots of sound effects in here. Vehicles, combat, dramatic effects. All of these, again, will make your gameplay gadgets come alive. So if you've got something that's a platform that's going up and down, if you've got a sound of it creaking and moving, that makes it much more engaging than a completely silent thing but moving through space. Right, let's have a look at the contraptions. These are the things that you're most likely to want to use in your game, because some of these things are complicated to make, and if they're already made, then why not use them? So again, we're divided up into the kits. So we've got Dreamiverse Dash here, Welcome Home, Ancient Temple, Welcome Garden. These are from inside the box, box maze, box escape. These are the VR stuff. You probably want to leave that unless you've got VR. I don't have VR, so I won't be tackling those. But let's have a look at Dreamiverse Dash. Now, a lot of these are very dependent on each other. to work in the game. So the start and finish gates, for example, come as a pair. You'll need one of those and one of those to make a Dreamweaver's Dash race style thing. We've got goal targets, checkpoints, destinations, timer gadgets, and then you've got your platforms, vertically moving, horizontally moving. We've got some switches here. These are buttons. Up here we've got some bouncy things. We've got a fan that pushes you up, bounce pad, a hazard cube. This will kill you if you hit it. Then we've got some collectibles over here. So all of these things are useful for making a platformer. But like I say, be very careful about using too much of them in your dream, because it could put people off. I will be going through some of these gadgets, the logic and how to build your own versions of these. But something that you need to be aware, each of these kits sometimes have repeats. So that's a fan in Dreamweaver's Dash. And then we've got a fan in Ancient Temple. And then there's a fan here. Now they all look completely different, but they actually have exactly the same code inside. So if I was to open them up, there we go, there's the fan logic. I'll just do the two of them. There we go. As you can see, they're pretty much identical. Slight difference of the starting defaults, but it's the same code that they've used for all three. It's just a different design of fan. As with most of the Media Molecule assets, these are designed not to be the simplest version of logic for that particular object. It's not designed specifically to be thermo-friendly. They are designed so that people that don't want to play about with the logic can use these assets in their game and have some control over how they work. So we have these sliders that allows you to change things like fan height and fan speed on this one. These in combination will determine how high the player will be pushed up by the fan. So if I put in a mannequin, you'll see, there we go, that fan pushes you up like this. They all do exactly the same thing, but some are like higher than others. And if we were to change the fan height here to 0.1, you see, it doesn't go up very high at all. Look, there you go. So you can fiddle about with all of these settings without needing to know anything about the logic within. You can go in and have a look. Here is how the fan works here. Now, another thing I would say about Media Molecule assets, if you are thinking this is a good starting point for me to learn dreams, I'll just put the assets down, have a look at the microchip, see how it is done. You might be scared to death, because these things are severely over-engineered, because they're not designed to be tutorials. They're not designed to teach you logic, and therefore they can be slightly overcomplicated. Let me give you an example. Inside here we've got a rotating platform. Okay, so here's a rotating platform. Round it goes. There we are. It's a pretty simple thing to do in Dreams. Let me just make one quickly. So just go to sculpt mode, make myself a plank like that. Let's make sure that's not connected to that. Okay, there we go. So we've made myself a plank, and then I'm going to make myself the bolt thing in the center. I'll just plonk it down. We might have to move it so it will be centered, but there we go. There we are. And then I'll get a rotator gadget. There it is. Stamp that to my my plank. And then we're going to make sure with the grid snap on that my rotator is facing the right way, like that. And then off we go. Right, I haven't got that center point in the right place. If we do that, we can see where the center is. There we go. It's there. Let's turn that grid off and we can move it. That should be right. There we go. Right, so there we go. I have made that very quickly, very simply. Obviously, it's not as pretty as that, but the logic there is a rotator gadget. Done. Not complicated, not difficult. Let's have a look and see what the microchip looks for the rotating platform logic. It looks like this. And they haven't used a rotator, they've used animation. So this is animated to turn like this, which is an odd choice, but there you go. So you can see how these things can get very complicated. And the sound effects part here, I mean, if I was making a sound effect for this, I would just put a sound effect onto it with a panning so that it only sounded around the object, and that would be it. But they've put in some code that works out how fast the thing is spinning, and then play different sound effects depending on how fast it's moving. This is the sort of thing that's very nice, but you don't need that because you're going to set it to the speed you want it. You'll put the sound effect in that's the right speed for the thing that you've got, and that's it. This needs to be more complicated because it doesn't know what setting you're likely to put this at, so it's got to accommodate all sorts of settings, which is why it's more complicated. So, like I say, it's really difficult. I would not recommend using the media molecule assets to learn dreams because they are extremely complex for what they are. So I will be making a tutorial on the very, very basic, simple platforming elements that you might want to use. We'll make it nice and simple for you. You won't need to even go anywhere near these because you'll be making your own platforming gadgets that will be unique to you. And I think that's quite important when you're making a game. Right, so let's have a look and see what else is there. Okay, so inside here, we've got some of these. These are gates. They're designed so that you can block off areas of your game until the player has done whatever it is that you want them to. So this one looks for collectibles. This one looks for enemies. So if you put them in your game like this, you might think, well, okay, and then, oh, I don't get it. What does it do? Without putting any collectibles in, this doesn't do anything. So let's put some collectibles in. There's a star collectible. Like, as soon as I put that in, you see that a number appears. There we go. I've put 2 down, and there's 2 on the game. So it's looking for a tag. It's looking for a tag inside this collectible. Let's look at in the logic. Somewhere in here is a tag. There we go. Score pickup. That's what it's looking for. Score pickup. So you can make your own collectible. So let's do that. We'll make our own collectible, just a cube. Okay. And we'll put a tag on it. Score pickup. Nope, that did nothing. Let's go in here. Take that tag. Put it on there. I obviously spelt it wrong, did I? Oh, it's small. Right. You've got to get the case correct. Lowercase and uppercase correct on these tags. Otherwise they don't recognise them. So I put the right words in, but the wrong... there we are. Score pickup. Okay, so now you've got 3. And I can copy and paste this. 4, 5. So you can make your own collectibles. And just put the tag score pickup on it, and you can use this gate without needing to use media molecules things. I just deleted the there we go. So that's moving. That's the gate. The other one is the enemy, which is the same thing, but it detects how many enemies, and you've got to kill the enemies in order to get this gate to open. So again, we need to put some enemies down, so I'll put Shooty down here. In this case, we are looking for, as we're trying to find the tag, it's like, where is it? It's in here somewhere. There it is. Enemy. It's looking for a tag called enemy. That should be slightly easier to do. Let's just put a mannequin in and put a tag called enemy in. There we go. I've gone from 1 to 2, so that's it. That's all you need to do. So if you wanted to make your own enemies and your own collectibles, you just got to use the correct tag. But without knowing any logic, you're probably not going to know about that, because these things are designed to be used as plug and play, and as a result, they're expecting you to use the enemies and the collectibles in the kit. Like this. So there's some collectibles there. There's some enemies there. And here are the gates. We've got a talking frog. You might want this in your game. This one, they've you'd have to know the logic in order to amend this, but there's the text there, dialogue text displayer. You can just go into that and change the text. There we are, and that will work fine. It's very difficult for them to make some of these, to make them completely accessible to people that don't use logic. That's one of them. The other thing, if I go to this kit, this is very popular, the entrance and exit to Ancient Temple. You see this a lot. People pop this in as their exit. Get to the exit, right? How many times have we seen that? Very, very annoying. You can change the text on this, but again, finding it is a bit of a difficulty. Let's go in. Right, to change the text on get to the exit, you need to, not that one, the output one. Outputs, the one with the hand on it. And then the top one here, locate exit. And it's these dialog boxes here, so there's 2 of them. One's the shadow of the other. So you select both of these. And then you can change your text like that. There we go. So I've now changed it to go here. So it's really easy, and you can change the font and everything and make it uniquely yours. Because I think people are fed up with get to the exit. It's any change to get to the exit will be welcome, I think. And the other thing about this is you can use these bases for get to the exit. Let's just make it invisible. And I can put in something else. Let's go into sculptures. Let's put in a tree. And then we'll put in we'll put this character in here. And we'll just change his logic so that he's whoops. Oh, wrong way. Away. Not possessable. Okay, so he just stands there. He's standing on the platform, you notice. So we need let's put some foliage underneath his feet so it doesn't look so ridiculous. There we go. Right. So now rewind it. Go here. Right, you'll notice the angle there of the camera. You can change that. Here's the camera. Just go in there. Zoom out or whatever you want to do. There we go, like that. There we go. I've changed the camera. So we'll rewind that and go again. So now there we go. I've changed the camera. It now says go here. And immediately it's different. He's going to run about, but never mind about that. There, exit reached. If you make the invisible stand there non-collidable as well, then you won't get that problem with them hitting the invisible object. So you can use the code without needing to see the object that it's attached to. One thing that I wouldn't recommend trying is taking microchips from one object and putting them on your own. The chances are that will not work. A lot of these microchips, they are very dependent on the object they are attached to, and it's not like you can just take a microchip from here like this and stamp it on another fan and that will work. It's not going to, so don't attempt that. If you want to use this logic without on your own objects, then the best I can suggest is to scope your object into the object that you whose logic you want, and then make the original object invisible and non-collidable, and then you're using the code. It's not thermo efficient because obviously you've got both objects in the world rather than just one, but it does allow you a bit more flexibility. So you can use media molecule assets, just make them invisible, make them non-collidable, and then you can put in whatever you want. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed media molecules assets. Check them all out, have a little play with them, and I'll catch you in your dreams.